Hello and welcome to another video by LNER Fan4472. This video will basically guide you through the differences between Hornby Railways and Hornby Railroad. Just a word of advice before we start: if you're an experienced modeller and you can already tell the difference in detail between these two locomotives, then I suggest you click off the video. This is mainly aimed at people who are either beginning the hobby for the first time or just getting back into it, so they can either be young individuals or old individuals. Either way, let's begin. Let's start off with the Super Detail Merlin. She is an A4 Pacific, number 60027, and she's in British Rail's green livery, and she's got a British Rail late crest, or is it emblem? Yeah, British Rail late emblem on the back. Let's get to the box first. Now, the difference in box is very important because obviously you don't see the loco on shelf in the shop, you see the box. And the Hornby Railways box will be completely in red with a little white stripe below it. And most of the boxes will have Super Detail on them. If it doesn't say Super Detail, then it's just more detailed than the railroad locomotives. And most Super Detail locomotives, or Hornby Railway locomotives, will be, as you can see there, DCC ready. And another thing for Super Detail locomotives, they're basically for Super Detail layouts. So they'll come with a little thing here saying, I don't know if the camera will pick that up because it's crap. And it says the minimum radius is 438mm. Now basically, that brings me on to these things here. I can just get them because they're very delicate. What this is here, this is an interchangeable wheel for the back bit of the locomotive just here. That wheel under the cab is flangeless, meaning the locomotive can negotiate tight curves with ease. And what these are here, these are cylinder cocks. What these do are they go onto the side, just there like that, and you might think it's a piece of cake. But if you've got a layout with third and fourth radius curves, a bit like mine, you'll see that the bogie bends so much that it will either derail or it will snap the cylinder cock. So I've got the cylinder cocks for safekeeping and the wheel that has the flange on, just for safekeeping until I start work on my dream layout. So anyway, moving on now. Okay, so moving on to Hornby Railroad now. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use Merlin's box as an example for the railroad model, as this came in a set, and this is the only railroad model I have. So let's begin, shall we? With the box. On a railroad box, basically, half the box is going to be red, or the minority of the box is going to be red, and the majority will be in yellow. So there'll be like, I hope I can get that in shot. There'll be like a cross just there, and that from there onwards would all be yellow, and there'll be a little sign in the top right saying railroad, and obviously you'll get your picture of the locomotive on the front. Some are DCC ready, some aren't DCC ready, so you'll just have to keep an eye on the box for that. So right, now onto the actual loco. This loco uses large tension locks, which I've removed the front one because it just makes the loco look even bigger than what it actually is. But either way, it's still a railroad loco, I still like it. So anyway, I wouldn't advise much caution when handling railroad models. Obviously just give them as much care as you would with any other locomotive. So now, as we can see in the back, I've stuck a driver and fireman in there. I do apologise for the poor lighting, but the cab detail, it is moulded, but it is just completely black. Everything is just black. And from where you're looking, this locomotive looks like a Super Detail locomotive, but it's when you get in very, very close that you start to see the differences. For example, the most notable difference is no sprung buffers. They are metal, they're not plastic, but they are sprung buffers. We've got pickups on the wheels underneath, on the 6 wheels here. These wheels are also pickups, I believe. I do not know. But the tender is just a simple plastic bar arrangement. So they're plastic wheels, and this locomotive has something interesting to it. Another thing about the railroad locomotives is, they try to make them more interactive than Super Detail locomotives, because for example in Super Detail locomotives, if you want to make them interactive, then you add DCC sound to them, you add smoke generators and flickering lights just in the smoke, the firebox. With these, they just give little accessories just for kids to enjoy, because Railroad is mainly aimed at kids. Hornby Railroad was introduced in mid-2007 as a way of getting people into the hobby without them having to buy super detail locomotives, because super detail locomotives are quite pricey. For example, this B12, I would range it at about £60–70, maybe even about £55. And our super detail Merlin, which you've just seen, I would range her, well, since she's been run and she's been with me for a few months, I'd value her at least £100, because the standard price for a Hornby F4 Pacific these days is about £145, and subtracting the money from when she's been ran, and she's had a few little scuffs, nothing too major, she's had a few little scuffs, but she's in perfect condition and she would be worth a pretty penny if I were to sell her at this moment. So yep, that's Railroad.